Got a question about something in your town? Email it to THV11. This is THV11.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for watching THV11 News at Noon. I'm Amanda Yeager. A recent University of Missouri report shows that there are nearly 3,000 dicamba complaints across the country, most being here in Arkansas. Today, the state plant board holds a public meeting to discuss changes about the herbicides uses. THV11's Erica Ferrando was live at that meeting to explain why farmers are so divided right now. So what is the story, Erica?
Well, there are at least 100 farmers here to speak before the plant board regarding dicamba. This public hearing is one of the final steps to take to change the rules regarding dicamba. So dicamba is an herbicide that's used mostly to keep away pigweeds from soybean crops, and this is the first year that farmers have been able to use it. All the farmers I've talked to agree that it works, but the problem some of them say that they find is it drifts from other farms to their farms. For those farmers who don't have dicamba-resistant crops, they're reporting damage. In September, the state plant board unanimously voted to change the rules on dicamba, allowing a certain window for farmers to use it from April 16th to October 31st every year. They accepted public comments on this change and received 27,000 in favor of this rule, and that's obviously many more than the 400 against this change. Those against the change want the cutoff date pushed back to May 25th, saying that this proposal is almost a complete ban. And after this hearing, the plant board will make a final proposal to submit to the Arkansas Legislative Council. Today is the first time we've heard from one of the dicamba companies, and you'll hear from them later on THV11 as well as what these farmers are saying. Live in Little Rock, I'm Erica Ferrando, THV11 News.
Thank you so much, Erica. The Wall Street Journal highlighted the dicamba issue in one of their recent pieces, and according to researchers, the outcome would have been worse with drier weather, despite the already widespread reports of crop damage. And as we talk a little bit about weather, we want to get a first check of our forecast. We have Raven Richard. I was outside this morning for a shoot and it was cold. I made sure to grab a jacket. People probably need to do that too today.
Oh, definitely. Earlier this morning, I was out at TAC Airport. It was freezing cold, especially with the wind there, just some straight winds, no trees blocking any of that at all. We're expected to see some mostly cloudy conditions for the rest of today, so pretty similar to yesterday. As you do see on our live VMAX, we do have some storms here moving across the state, a little bit heavier towards southern Arkansas. Southern Arkansas is expected to get majority of the rainfall that we are expected to see for today. Temperatures here across the state, all pretty consistent, from 40s for northwest Arkansas. Elsewhere, looking at those low 50s for right now. Here's a look at the rest of your day. Looks like some on and off again chances of rain showers, especially as we get here to the next couple of hours. But once again, most of that rain is headed towards southern Arkansas. Central Arkansas could see a little. Amanda?
New at noon, Arkansas has identified a New York pharmaceutical company as the maker of one of its lethal injection drugs. The company says it doesn't want any of its products used in those executions. A package insert for the state supply of midazolam released by the state on Wednesday identifies Athenex as the maker of the drug. It's one of the 3 used in Arkansas's lethal injection process. The insert was included as part of an affidavit filed by state correction officials. Athenex officials issue a statement today saying it doesn't accept orders from prison systems for products it believes are intended for use in executions. The company also says it has agreements with its distributors to not sell its drugs for that purpose. The state legislature's tax overhaul task force is looking to determine which of the state sales tax exemptions should be kept and which should be abandoned. PFM Consulting Group presented a report to the task force Tuesday with 7-year-old state estimates of financial impact on the exemptions. It says that more than 100 sales tax exemptions reduced revenue by $1.4 billion in 2011. According to estimates from the State Department of Finance and Administration. The report also says Arkansas collected $3.3 billion in sales tax for fiscal year 2017, which ended in June. The task force asked the Finance Department to make a hypothetical proposal for cutting the top income tax rate if the states had no sales tax exemptions. And new details emerge about the Texas church shooter's troubled past. This as survivors and victims' families share their stories. Authorities say Devin Kelly was the subject of a 2013 sexual assault complaint at his home in South Texas. That was just 35 miles from the scene of Sunday's church shooting that took 26 lives. Investigators also revealed the suspect briefly escaped from a mental health facility in 2012. An El Paso police report described him as a danger to himself and others. Authorities hope to wrap up the crime scene investigation at the church this evening. And we showed you how pastors in Pine Bluff are working to keep their congregations safe in the wake of the tragedy in Texas. And we found a team of churches in Cabot doing the same. THV11's Caitlin Gardenhire traveled there to see it in action.
Virginia Tech, 2007. Sandy Hook, 2012. Pulse, 2016. Las Vegas, 2017. Sutherland Springs, 2017.
We live in a fallen world where evil is very present, and we have to take steps in order to try to save as many lives as we possibly can and limit the number of people that can be victimized by these mass shooters.
Lone Oak County Sheriff's Deputy Nathan House is seeing a rise in interest in active shooter response training.
We've had several churches reach out to us that are interested in the training. We've also had some major businesses in the Little Rock area.
House says the department's CRAZE training, Avoid, Deny, Defend, doesn't prevent, but it does prepare.
It may be a shooter this time, it may be a truck the next time, we don't know. We've not found any good way yet to stop an active shooter event. But what we can do is we can limit the impact that these people have whenever they do occur.
Security is not just an option anymore. It really is something that's essential for our churches.
Senior pastor of that church in Cabot, Scott Harness, brought in Deputy House to train his security team and others, including New Life and H2O Church.
We don't just want our place to be safe, we want it to be safe wherever you worship. We're seeing churches coming together. And we're starting to collectively, put our knowledge together.
He says it's the leaders of the church's job to keep their people safe.
We can't do everything, but we do need to do what we can do to make sure that people are safe as they can possibly be, especially here under our care.
The active shooter response training is free, and if you'd like more information on the training, you can contact Deputy House at the Armory in Sherwood. His contact information is on THV11.com. Pine Bluff police investigate a homicide after a victim is found shot dead inside of a Dodge Charger. It happened just after 1 this morning in the area of 29th Avenue and Hazel Street. We're working to learn more details, and we'll have the latest on our website, THV11.com. Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge says her office will not fight the state Supreme Court's decision to block the execution of Jack Green. Green was scheduled to be put to death tomorrow as the state's 5th execution this year. Justices granted the request for an emergency stay filed by Jack Green's lawyers. They want more time for justices to look over a lower court's decision to dismiss his challenge of a state law that gives Arkansas's top prison officials the authority to determine whether he is competent. Green was convicted of killing Sidney Jethro Burnett in 1991. Governor Asa Hutchinson released a statement about the court's stay, saying in part, quote, "Last-minute delays are always very difficult and only prolong the justice the Burnett family was promised more than 20 years ago." The University of Arkansas's annual Arkansas poll shows overwhelming support for the death penalty in the state. This comes months after 4 executions were carried out over 8 days, and as the state prepared to put another inmate to death. The poll released Tuesday shows 72% of participants support the death penalty as punishment for people convicted of murder. And Democrats picked up their first big victory in years after winning gubernatorial races in both Virginia and New Jersey. Pundits viewed the contest as a referendum on President Trump and his policies. CBS's Moa Lengi has more details from the White House.
Democrats picked up big wins in gubernatorial races Tuesday. In New Jersey, Phil Murphy beat Republican Kim Guadagno 56 to 42%. And in Virginia, Dr. Ralph Northam defeated Republican Ed Gillespie 54 to 45%. The newly elected governors say their wins show Americans want unity.
The politics that is tearing this country apart is not That's not the United States of America that people love. It's certainly not the Commonwealth of Virginia.
We declare the days of division are over.
But party leaders from Washington are viewing the victories as a direct repudiation of President Trump and his policies.
People are so sick of these Twitter tirades. They want leaders they can be proud of. And that's why people like Phil Murphy and Ralph Northam were able to win, because they're sane.
President Trump took a different view on things. He tweeted, Ed Gillespie's loss was because the Virginian did not embrace him or his policies. President Trump's push to kill Obamacare was at the forefront of many voters' minds as they went to the polls. CBS News exit polling revealed health care was the #1 issue for voters in Virginia.
If there's anything Democrats may take away, it's that seeing health care as the #1 issue may give them some ideas on how to campaign heading into 2018.
Republicans did pick up a win in Utah, where Republican John Curtis easily won the race to replace Jason Chaffetz's congressional seat. Mola Lengi, CBS News, the White House.
Voters in Maine also chose to support Obamacare when they approved a measure to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. Maine's Republican Governor Paul LePage says he will try to block the implementation of the law. Healthcare providers are finding a way to show veterans all that VA hospitals have to offer. We bring you that story coming up after the break.
Plus, it looks like it's another gray day for today. Also, got a lot of rain moving here throughout the state. We'll let you know which parts are expected to see how much for today. Stay with us.
Thanks for watching THV11. THV11 forecasts are brought to you from the Crane Kia Weather Garden. Now, weather from the Crane Kia Weather Garden.
Good afternoon, everybody. Definitely a jacket type of day for today. Also, seeing small amounts of some sprinkles here. Some parts of the state are seeing a little bit more. Also, in our weather garden, you can definitely tell it's fall time. Take a look at all the leaves we have out here. We've got some blowing inside as well. So, yes, once again, the time season is definitely changing. Getting started with our weather, though. Taking a look at live view maps, you can see most of that rain is down towards southern Arkansas. So they are seeing the most amount for today. A little bit is starting to make its way towards central Arkansas. We did have some a little bit earlier, but your best chance for today mainly staying down towards the south. Elsewhere, though, we are expected some lower chances. Here's a look at the rest of the day for us. You can see a lot of rain on here. This is right about an hour from now. We can still see rain chances here across the state, continuing to make their way over towards eastern Arkansas. And after that, still staying here for the evening time. Rain chances, once again, just a little bit bigger down south. They quickly move through the area here. So right around Wednesday night is when we finally start to clear out some across the state. But then as we approach our Thursday, things are looking much better. Forecast precipitation, you can see most of that moisture down south here, just a little bit towards central Arkansas. 51 degrees where we're currently sitting at. Take a look at our winds, 9 miles per hour for us. So not too bad, a little bit on the breezy side. Here's a look at current temperatures here across the state. Looking at some 40s and a couple 50s for the most part. Here's a look at the rest of the day for you. We're going to put it at about on and off again chances of some rain showers for you, and then dropping down to those 40s. So we're not really going to warm up very much more than where we already are for right now. Today's high, 52 degrees, mostly cloudy, and of course a little bit on that cool side. Here's your forecast for elsewhere around the region. Some 50s up north. Headed towards central Arkansas, still looking about the same, 40% chance of showers. Headed down to southern Arkansas, looking at that 60% chance for you guys. It's a little bit of a rainy day here across the state. Extended forecast for you, things looking much better as we head towards the rest of the week. Also, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Gaines. They saw me yesterday while I was getting my oil change, and they said they watch every day at noon. Thank you guys for watching so much. Hey, now we're going to send things over to Amanda.
Well, the hospital environment can be intimidating and complicated, and to some, the image of VA hospitals is even worse. That's why the healthcare providers across the country are sending out ambassadors to try and change that. THV11's Rolly Hoyt shows us how it works.
You doing all right today? All right, have a good afternoon.
A pleasant greeting at the doors of a very imposing place.
We are a very large, complex hospital system. We have 2 campuses. Both of our campuses are very large, and it can be very confusing to try and navigate your way around the facility.
The VA hospitals in Little Rock and North Little Rock see thousands of men and women daily. They served their country, they took and gave orders. But a trip into the healthcare system can freeze even a hardened vet.
All right, and you're looking for x-ray today? Yes, I am. Okay, well, I'll help you. I'll walk with you to x-ray.
Members of the staff from all departments are being trained to take an hour and welcome, and in some cases walk with veterans through the hospital. They have red badges and eventually red sport coats.
When you come into the facility, you've got this red dot to try and navigate through this giant maze. That's where the red coats come in.
Our ambassadors are there to assist them, greet them, make sure that they know where they're going that day, and helping them navigate our facility.
It helps a lot, because a lot of times it's very difficult to find where you're going, and it helps.
Jennifer Bullock organizes the program. While there are staff shortages, she insists other departments can spare the hour to help the cause.
What we want to do here at the VA is expand it to all of our staff, because we feel like we take ownership of the experience that our veterans have here.
Some of these patients willingly share their experiences, good and bad. Bullock welcomes that. One Vietnam-era vet told her he once felt like he'd get better treatment from the Viet Cong than America, but that's changed over the years.
I take that seriously, that people are willing to share their stories with me about what they've experienced, whether it's during their time in service or during the care that they've received here at the VA.
While administrators expect all departments to participate, they're not expecting critical medical staff to take off an hour during their shifts. We are so excited to tell you about all the progress that's being made on the Habitat for Humanity home in North Little Rock. We've been following along as Lakeisha Waters and her 3 kids help build their brand new home. Yesterday, the siding went up with a little help from our own Rob Evans. The family is one step closer to their move-in date. Waters says a lot of money went into the new home she and her 3 kids will soon enjoy. But the reactions on their faces when they see the finished product will be priceless.
It's been holding back the tears since the raising of the wall. So that in there was just a little bit, but probably when I actually see it finished and we get to come in, and I'll probably just let it all out.
The builders are hoping Waters and her family will be able to move into their new home by the holidays. If you'd like to help with building her home or maybe apply for one yourself, we put a link on to Habitat's website on ours, THV11.com. An unheralded group of people in Arkansas work through many of the state's problems to make sure you stay safe in emergencies. You may not know much about them, but we will tell you all about it next on THV11.
Got a question about something in your town? Email it to THV11. Get THV weather and Ed Buckner's forecast on 105.1 The Wolf, your home for Bob Robbins in the morning.
There's a group of volunteers here in Arkansas working everything from natural disasters to missing aircraft.
And you may not know much about them, but they're a big impact where we live. We're talking about the Civil Air Patrol, and here's the story. Check it out.
It will stick out, but a lot of times people don't realize the difference.
Civil Air Patrol. They're under the wing of the Air Force, but are volunteers. It formed just 7 days before Pearl Harbor.
I joined originally as a cadet when I was 13 years old.
That's Lieutenant Colonel Bobby Allison. He's been in it for 23 years. And 16-year-old First Sergeant of the 42nd Composite Squadron, Joshua James.
I want to get into the Air Force Academy, and I want to serve in the Air Force for 25 years. So what I'm hoping that this will do is give me leadership skills, so whenever I first get to the academy, they'll already see something different in me.
And I had to ask.
Of course we fly in planes.
Search and rescues, homeland security missions, aerospace education, aerial photography, just some of the things they do. And of course training for these assignments. An example, they're looking for a missing aircraft. They get the coordinates and commands, head to their planes, and off to the search they go. Even though it's practice, it prepares them for the real thing. And not only that,
we help FEMA and the local state agencies who we work very closely with here in Arkansas and in every state.
Including tornado damage in the state, even helping with Hurricane Harvey relief. They always need volunteers, operation roles, air crews, pilots, ground jobs, and everything else.
This is the way that I'm able to serve in a volunteer status and give back to my country.
Being underneath Civil Air Patrol is one of the greatest honors that I have, and it's amazing to wear this type of uniform.
All right, and kids as young as 12 can actually join in. For more information on what they do and how you can volunteer, find the story on our website, THV11.com.
Trending online today, Twitter rolled out its 280 character limit yesterday. That's double what it used to be, and the world has quite a bit to say about it.
Well, the new character limit applies to languages where cramming is an issue, like English. But the idea behind the new limit was to give users more room to express themselves without hitting the 140 character limit.
And when Twitter revealed it was testing out a larger character limit in September, many users grew concerned their feeds would just clog up with much longer tweets. But the social network hopes the change will actually bring in users.
Interesting there. Well, hey, we'll have one more check of that weather when we come back. All right.
Whatever the forecast, THV11 is here because every day is a weather day.
This is THV11.
Well, it's been raining in some areas in central Arkansas. Where is that rain at right now?
Right now, it's for the southern half of the state. You can see here live view mag said trying to make its way towards central Arkansas, seeing a little bit. Most of that will stay towards southern Arkansas. So expect rain chances throughout half of the state for today. Tomorrow looking much better.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Keep an eye on that forecast with us on our THV11 app. We'll see you tonight at 5 and 6.
Thanks for watching THV11 News. Stay connected to the THV Information Center 24/7 on your mobile device and with the THV11 app for your iPad. Friday Night Blitz is brought to you by Taco Bell.